Hello, this is John Smith. Welcome to the Psalming Effect. For today, I'm going to share a meditation with you for this week that I hope you will use throughout this week. It's March 27th of 2023. And here's what's been on my mind today as I was looking at the Psalms and thinking about some things in my life. First of all, about a month ago, or within the past month, my wife and I had to renew our mortgage. And it's a little bit tricky right now because the financial situation has become more unpredictable than usual. I'm not so much talking about my household finances, I'm talking about the economy in general. The interest rates, they've gone up by several points over the last year or so, and hopefully they've plateaued and aren't going to go up more. Hopefully they'll even come down. But anyways, we had to renew and lock in over a certain time period, and so we did that, and we're fairly satisfied with how that went. But the challenge was and is, for anyone who's in this process, is that you don't really know what's going to happen. You don't know which direction for sure the interest rates are going to go and exactly what the timeline is. And so that makes it challenging for you to feel fully confident in what time period, if you're going to lock in for a time period, or whether you're going to take a variable interest rate, which way you're going to go with that. Makes it a little bit challenging. The uncertainty. The other thing that's going on with me right now is that in less than a month ahead, I'm going to have another birthday, and it's going to be my 65th birthday. So that means that I'm also making some decisions with Canada Revenue and with my employer, which right now is the Church of Christ in Weyburn, in terms of what am I going to do going forward? I'm not ready to retire. I'm not ready to retire from work. I'm not ready to retire from full-time ministry. And so that's, as far as I know, not happening right away or in the very near future. But we are realizing that, I'm realizing that, as much as I want to do this and still have the ability and the capacity to serve, I also realize that I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do when I'm no longer able to do this, when the opportunity to do this is no longer there, when God has something different in store for me. And that's getting a lot closer than it was when I was 25. Now that I'm 65, I have to think about these things, and the church here needs to think about the transition it will go through as well when it's time to bring someone else on board to do the work that I'm currently employed to do. So anyways, those decisions are being made. But here's the thing that makes it tricky. None of us knows exactly what the road ahead is. And so today there's a psalm that I want to share and that I've been meditating on, Psalm 39. And there's just a few verses here that I want to refer to and to kind of explore this a little bit in terms of our Christian faith. Psalm 39, verses 4 through 6. O Lord, make me know my end, and what is the measure of my days. Let me know how fleeting I am. Behold, you have made my days a few handbreadths, and my lifetime is as nothing before you. Surely all mankind stands as a mere breath. Surely a man goes about as a shadow. Surely for nothing they are in turmoil. Man heaps up wealth and does not know who will gather. Yeah, so that psalm is obviously talking about a number of things to do with our mortality. You know, we there are certainties and there are uncertainties about our lives that make it challenging. The certainties is that we're just here temporarily in the flesh, um, and that as and now where I stand at age 65, I know that the time ahead of me is a whole lot shorter than the time that is behind me. That's a certainty. Another certainty is that now I will be aging. I will start showing signs of aging. My health will change. I will be getting older, not younger. That's a certainty. And so, there are others that I could mention, but there are some things that we anticipate and we know are going to happen. What we don't know are some uncertainties. First of all, we don't know the timetable. I don't know when the end for me in human flesh is going to be. Do I have another 30 years? Do I have another 3 years? Do I have another 30 days? Do I have another 3 days? Do I have another 30 hours? Or do I have another 3 minutes? We really don't know. And that's the thing we don't know. And so the psalmist is asking, what is the measure of my days? How long do I have? That's part of the uncertainty that we have about our lives. The other part of the uncertainty is when that end comes, when we do reach the end, what is that going to look like? Like, am I going to go suddenly? Maybe tragically, without warning, when I'm still in full health and all my faculties, but just something happens and my life ends? Or is that what the end will look like? Or is the end going to be sort of a final gasp after a long battle with illness, with disability, with dwindling faculties? That's sometimes what the end looks like. And if I knew what the end was going to look like, never mind knowing how far away it was, it would probably, it would change some of my decisions now about how I spend, how I save, how I invest, what I put in place, for my surviving family, etc. But the thing is, I don't know how far away that end is, and I don't know what that end will look like. And the other thing I don't know is what are going to be the ups and downs and some of the potholes and barriers and challenges that might happen along the way. Will I have some health crises? Will I have some financial losses? Will my house get destroyed by fire? Will I lose my vehicle and have to replace it? Or we don't know these. We don't know. We can't predict what things are going to happen. Even if we knew how long we had and what the end was like, we don't know what all is going to happen on the way there. Now that I'm 65, or almost 65, in less than a month, those things mean a lot more to me. And I think about them a lot more than when I was 25. When I was 25, I didn't think very much about the end and what is the measure of my days and all of these things that the psalmist is talking about. But they're very important things. And what's most important, I believe, is that in my Christian faith, because of the certainties that I know, one of them being that my life is going to end, and all of this that I have in life is no longer going to be mine. It's going to pass on to someone else, as he says. Man heaps up wealth and does not know who will gather. I don't know. I have a will, but in terms of what all I do and what impact my life has, I can't even assess really well. I don't really have a really good grasp of that right now. Never mind after I'm gone. So there's all of that, and But what's important in my Christian faith is not just that God gives me the hope of eternity after all this temporal and mortal existence is over. I mean, that is a comforting hope, and I'm glad for that. But the other thing that, and maybe at this point is most important for me right now, is to know that with all of the uncertain days that lie ahead and the certain things that will be a part of the rest of my life, there is a God who knows, who's not limited, who doesn't have the uncertainty that I do. He knows what my path is. He knows what will be the ups and downs. He knows how much of my health I might lose before I die, and how I might or might not be debilitated, and what the end will look like, and anything that happens along the path between now and then. He knows all of that, and he will be with me through all of that. He will, I can't predict any of it, but what I can not just predict, but what I can be assured of, and what gives me hope and comfort, is to know that God is with me in whatever it is. In whatever the challenges are, they're not going to be a surprise to God, and God is not going to abandon me in my circumstances. He knows, he is prepared, he anticipates, and he will help me through whatever the road is ahead. That's what's comforting. Verse 11 from this psalm. Actually, it's verse 12. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Hold not your peace at my tears, for I am a sojourner with you, a guest like all my fathers. I am a sojourner with you, O God, my Father. I walk by your side. So, with all of the certainties, which are not necessarily comforting, and all of the uncertainties, which tend to be unsettling, I can nevertheless have a sense of peace and a sense of purpose and a sense of encouragement, because God walks at my side and is with me. He fathers me and helps me every day of my journey. Every day of my journey. So that's the encouragement that I'm getting from Psalm 39. And so I would encourage you to dwell on this psalm every day this week. Read. It's not a long psalm. It's 13 verses. But just even the verses that I've read are enough to chew on every day this week and bless your life. And I'm happy to say that Jesus is for me in 2023.